Whoa, hey, I have a fever and I need more WrestleMania. It's Tuesday. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. Per usual, per WrestleMania week, I got Mr. Robert Karplus, WD Creative _ish. Robert, are you ready even more now for WrestleMania?
I will be ready in as soon as I finish packing.
Oh, there you go. I thought you packed yesterday. Didn't you pack yesterday?
I started packing yesterday. I still have. There's always more, Dom. It's a
Never.
week. It's a week of going away. There's suddenly extra things where you're suddenly like, I need this. I need this. I need this. So I will be good to go.
Good to go. Hey, this shirt, not just a Penguin shirt. You know when I wore this shirt, Robert?
I have no idea, Dom.
This is the very shirt that CM Punk yelled at me for during the Brawl Out press conference, where he was like, F the Penguins, F Sidney Crosby, and F Ron Francis. How about that? So,
Wow.
how about
Nice
that?
little bit of history right there of your. Why is it every co-host I have on this show is either feuding with CM Punk or getting yelled at CM Punk?
That's it. One or the other. Well, hey, let's yell at some folks here in the chat. Let's give some shout outs here. Willie Thornbrew says, Robert, if you were in charge, what matches will open night 1 and night 2? Do you want to talk about that now or you want to hold off on that?
We'd probably have to look more deeply into it. Looking at it right now, just very, very briefly, I would open with Rey and El Grande Americano night 1 because I think the Rey Mysterio pop to start Mania is always a winner. And for night 2, you want that big pop. So maybe it's the women's tag match and just have Bayley.
Interesting.
But because Bayley's music at least is something that people recognize and know and go, hey, this is exciting.
Doesn't her theme stink, though? Her theme stinks.
Her theme stinks, but people like her.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Ron Ward says, I woke up this morning to a perfectly timed Working Stiff Patreon. Thanks, Dom. In Dom's inbox right now is the main feed episode of Working Stiff that I get posted later on today. Myself and Scott Chapin did our big WrestleMania prediction show since I'm going to be taking off to beautiful Nevada. And Cammy Star says, time to place your bets, Rumor Pals. Who will rant today? Who's ranting? We're very nice, calm, rational, relaxed people.
If AEW's not on, I don't have a rant.
Andy Border says, here we go. RNI gives more cowbell. No, don't. Dude, there are people who listen to this in audio format like me with headphones on. That noise is brutal. Dre Owens, thankfully, just made it to the live show. Stupid meetings. I, too, was in a meeting right before this, and it was a wonderful meeting. Wasn't stupid, in case any of them watching or listening. Valuable information. Glad that I'm here. And Lou4237 says, happy Mike Rotunda Day. Yes, make sure you got your taxes in. The last thing you want to do is have to deal with Erwin R. Shyster.
And the write-off. Don't be the victim of that.
Yes. I guess we could talk Raw.
Yeah. Yes, it was the go-home episode of WWE Raw. And typically, I think we've said this before, that's typically the go-home show for WrestleMania because SmackDown is just right there, right by.
This one could have gone home.
Yes.
This one definitely could. Here's the thing. I'm going to set the table briefly here.
This is kind of a rant. This is kind of a rant.
Not a rant. It's calm. We're all using calm voices. Nobody's getting upset.
Are you ranting?
Nobody's Frankenstein's-ing. Being very calm and rational.
Bravo. It's ready now.
The road to WrestleMania was pretty well paved a few weeks ago. There's a typical cadence, usually the beginning of April, that's Mania. We've now extended this a few weeks in order to meet that Vegas Easter weekend demand. So here we are. We're here. It's great. It's fine. They've already set the table on everything. You don't want to risk any significant injuries to anybody. You don't want any last-second major revelations because this isn't a pay-per-view anymore. It's a PLE. It's on Peacock. They've sold their tickets. People are showing up from around the world to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. You're going to tune in to watch WrestleMania, even if they're just running a test pattern on Monday night. So if they could have, you would have gotten 2.5 hours of just video packages. Instead, we got some safe choices, some very down the middle matches, some very pedestrian booking. There was nothing that happened on Raw on Monday night that made you go, oh man, I have to see WrestleMania now.
Okay. So let's just go right to the ending segment then. I think.
Oh, let's start with the only thing that yeah. So it's like a bad Kate Hudson romantic comedy where Paul Heyman's man Roman Reigns doesn't appreciate him.
Mhm.
Punk appreciates him.
Is that
But
Matthew
Seth
McConaughey?
is what?
Matthew McConaughey in this Kate Hudson film?
If that helps, sure.
All right,
You
all
know,
right, all right.
The idea that the main event of WrestleMania is for the heart and mind of Paul Heyman as opposed to being for a world title is a very odd choice. This is a very, I've said this on this show, I've said this on Working Stiff, said this across the board. This is a very political WrestleMania. The initial intent design behind this most likely was very different. It feels like we were heading towards a Seth Rollins Gunther match.
Mm-hmm.
Jey Uso's crowd reactions, Jey Uso's merchandise sales, his charisma carried it over to let's go with Jey Uso and Gunther. Seth became odd man out. Roman and Punk have been in the books for going back to before War Games. Like that was where this was all going. So you needed to find a way to shoehorn Seth Rollins into the situation. You needed a way to make all of this make sense. I was a little sad about the main event because it was the last time that we're going to really see Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman together. This was the end of a moment that, to me, was what sparked the modern golden age of wrestling. The pan from Roman to Paul on that couch and the revelation that they were working together was a monumental moment that changed the trajectory of wrestling. It's now over. You saw Roman shove down Heyman and then Punk come out to make the save. We will do our predictions on Friday, poolside from the Bellagio.
Yes.
But for now, it seems like Paul Heyman is going to be leaving with a new best friend.
It does seem like that, and that's a great point, Robert, to even think about. Like this is like the end of an era. Actually, at WrestleMania, it will be with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Yeah, and they really did. They were the proponents for this big kind of wrestling boom in a lot of ways that made this bloodline story and everything seem so significant. You think, everybody's talking about this John Cena heel turn, but the Roman Reigns heel turn really, really left this lasting impact. And I think it's the way to go for it, too. I mean, it's just a shame, though, I think. And it'll be interesting to see how they do it, I think. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it feels a little convoluted, but I'm intrigued at the same time.
It's super convoluted. They're telling 5 stories at once. Even in this one segment, it was Roman's mad at Paul for showing loyalty to Punk when Paul's like, it was a favor that I did in order to further and help you. So you don't know based on that interaction if Paul was working for his own intentions or he's genuinely trying to help Roman Reigns. Then you have the Seth Rollins piece where he's pulling a Death Rider John Moxley where we're fighting for the soul and integrity of wrestling. And whoever wins, this is the most important match ever. He's so bad. It's so brutal. It's terrible. Nobody believes this. Nobody cares. Then to put a hat on top of a hat on top of a hat, you have Roman physically assault Paul Heyman, which you never thought you'd see. He shoves him down. Punk comes out for the save, knight in shining armor. He eats a spear. And then for the 900th time, Seth hits Roman in the back with a chair to call back to the Shield disintegration.
Yeah.
So are we retelling the Shield disintegration story? Are we telling the Seth needs to stop Roman from getting power story? Are we telling the Seth needs to stop Punk story? Are we telling the Paul Heyman is loyal to CM Punk story, or that he is loyal to Roman Reigns, or ultimately he is loyal to Seth, or there's another favorite? It's 9 different stories. None of them really matter. The idea was just we needed to get this match in the ring. Let's just throw a bunch of storylines at it, and then we'll revisionist history it next Monday.
Let me ask you this before we move on.
No.
Paul, now this whole incorporation of all this, does this diminish Roman Reigns or CM Punk? Let's not think about Seth too much because Seth, we're kind of on our own thing with that, I think. But Roman, does this diminish Roman and Punk in certain ways, like this whole storyline and this build to WrestleMania.
Diminish it how?
Diminish them from like their star power, I guess, and I guess the intrigue too of them in WrestleMania. Let's go with that.
They're in the main event. We're pretending this main event is the main event. The true main event, obviously, being Cody and Cena. My guess is when we get to SummerSlam, we are looking at the night 1 and night 2 main eventers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I think a Seth Rollins CM Punk match for the world title, night 1, night 2, Roman and Cena.
Yeah.
So that does help the medicine go down. Plus, ego-wise for Roman, he's in a different stratosphere. He has established himself. He has made himself what he is. He doesn't always need to be the straw that stirs the drink. He will get his opportunity again, and he knows he's going to have time off. Punk is getting the check mark and checkbox combined into one word. He's getting the check mark, the checkbox that he's going to main event a WrestleMania. He is going to get that satisfying conclusion. And guys, if you're worried about getting your own satisfying conclusion and you want your lady pointing to the WrestleMania sign above your bed, you can have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activity. Blue Chew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month free. Process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription in days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door, so you can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, no awkward conversations. We all know that they're fighting for the chance to get Paul Heyman, but once they get Paul Heyman, they want to make his life easier by getting harder, and you can too by discovering your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Robert, you just created a cinematic match I don't want to think of.
Love it, Dom. Rest of a match I didn't want to see and then saw it and was underwhelmed by it was Liv Morgan and Bayley.
Yes.
They did not seem to click for whatever reason in this. There was the Rey Mysterio Julius Creed match, which felt like a litmus test. Like, hey, let's see what this kid can do in a singles match with Rey. It was totally fine. You got the Penta Finn appetizer. Mm-hmm. We know we're going to get more out of them. And then a lot of video packages. Oh, and AJ Styles carrying cross wore pants. They were pants designed by AJ Styles' pants maker.
Yeah, which was a weird little
we got other stories to talk about on the road to WrestleMania, Dom. So that is going down the path of Raw is just instead, let's talk about Randy Orton.
Okay, yeah, real quick though, I like the Rey Mysterio and Julius Creed match, and I do think it was a good way to showcase Julius Creed. Yeah, I just thought that was well positioned, and that was one of the matches too that I was like, this makes sense, because I mean we had the tag match that had the same people in the match that they're going at WrestleMania, and I don't know, I'm just not for that either.
Well, if you want to be well positioned, we already did the Blue Chew ad.
Okay, let's talk a little Randy Orton. So he had a little talk with Complex, and he happened to share a little thing that he helped out with Kevin Owens regarding his injury. He says, if we're being real here, my heart breaks for Kevin. I think first and foremost, I just hate that he's got to go through that. Even more than a physical journey, he's got to go to let his body heal. It's a mental journey too. His body's been through it, and now he's paying that price. Like he said in the ring the other day, we all pay the price at one point or another. And then the article also noted that Randy had set up Owens to get a second opinion from a surgeon who helped him recover from his own back surgery that almost ended his career recently. Yeah, if you're not familiar, Randy Orton had a back surgery that the doctor recommended that he didn't continue wrestling, and here he is. He's back doing it with the back fusion and everything like that. So what do you think? I think it's always good for wrestlers to get a second opinion, but just a tough slog for Kevin, and pretty nice of Randy to help him out like that.
It's a tough position to be in. I'm sure that Randy and Kevin were excited to find a way to work with each other again. Very politicized Raw. WrestleMania, in other circumstances, you could see Randy Orton being a main eventer. You could see Kevin Owens being a main eventer. The two of them working together is sort of a marriage of convenience. And they kind of have this idea of, look, we're going to go out there. We're going to put on a great match. They've probably been talking about it, laying it out beat by beat. And then not being able to finish that story is obviously very, very difficult. And knowing that Kevin's going to be sitting on the shelf, missing a WrestleMania when you never know how many you really have left, and Orton just working so hard to come back. I was talking about this with Matt Riddle a couple months ago, and him talking about, teaming with Randy when Randy was really, really hurting to try to help him kind of bridge that gap until he finally was on the shelf. It's very, very tough because mentally they want to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they have to go through these processes. It can be a slog. It can take a while. And good on Randy for helping out Kevin Owens.
The thing is, too, it's like even when you're in the thick of that, your career, and even like Kevin Owens is such a long-term veteran and stuff like that. Talking with RVD, he talks about that competitive mindset you get when you're in the ring. And it doesn't matter if you're just doing stories and stuff like that, but you're still in that competitive mode where you want to compete, you want to be in the ring, and you want to get higher up and get the championship, even in certain ways. And like when you're not able to do that and you're sitting on the sideline, it is the mental journey that Randy was talking about, I'm sure, where you just got to power through all of that. And that's very difficult. Maybe more than physical.
I like a comment here from Cammie Star. Says she's putting her money on that we will see the return of the arm waving tube men for Bayley's. That's why I think Bayley that may open the show, because it is it's a good moment. It's also a nice bit of nostalgia. And speaking of nostalgia, Dom, that's right. That's where we're going with this here. We're going to talk about our friends at Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon makes high protein, zero sugar cereal and treats reinvented from your childhood, but without all that pesky added sugar and all those things that are make you feel lethargic and sluggish and somewhat feel your age. Magic Spoon has also launched a brand new high-protein granola. True to the Magic Spoon promise, it's packed with protein and oh so crunchy. Dom is holding it right there. Dom, you're the best in the business. And you guys can taste the best in the cereal business and get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/rumor. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/rumor for $5 off. It's the perfect snack to have while you're watching these 5-hour episodes of WrestleMania for 2 nights in a row. Make the right choice. Head over to magicspoon.com. Use that promo code rumor. You're going to get $5 off. You're not going to regret it, Dom. And someone that people keep thinking they're going to see at WrestleMania, and I have my druthers about, is one Mr. Brock Marie Lesnar.
Oh, what a fantastic middle name that is. That's my sister's middle name. Well, according to Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp, despite
you don't have to plug your boy. We get it. You and Sean Ross Sapp are besties, your pals. Let's move on.
He says, despite recent name drops, there are currently no plans to bring back Brock Lesnar to WWE at this time. Furthermore, there has been no conversations about bringing him behind the scenes in quite some time. And now Robert's buddy, Dave Meltzer, backed up Sapp's report in the latest episode of Wrestling Observer Radio. He says, I've been told adamantly, it's in the hands of WWE legal. It's not in the hands of Paul Levesque. Nick Khan's not going to be overrule legal. And when they think that's the case, it's going to be settled or whatever it is, then maybe he'll come back. I don't know. So no Brock Lesnar, potentially at WrestleMania, it seems. And from a legal standpoint, Robert, you would know about this. Does that make sense?
Yes. Brock Lesnar's involved in active litigation and, is sort of the key component of a potential human trafficking case. So while narratively speaking, man, it'd be super cool if Brock Lesnar came in at the main event of that first night of WrestleMania and he reunited with Paul Heyman. It ain't going to happen until the lawsuit is settled. WWE at least has to pretend that they care about this lawsuit and at least pretend that they're treating it seriously. And when you have a guy who's a named entity in it and he's out there wrestling, not a great look, especially since one of those named entities is being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yes.
So they do have to do a very delicate dance, but we're not going to be doing a delicate dance. We're doing a walk, a straight line walk on that road to WrestleMania. It's a big week here. Don't do that. That's just weird, dumb. It's a big week here on Rumor and Innuendo. I will be I will literally be on an airplane 24 hours from right now, heading beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, where I'll be at the beautiful Bellagio Resort and Casino. Dom, I believe, is staying at the beautiful Flamingo Hotel and Casino. So if you see one or both of us wandering around the strip or at WrestleCon or at WrestleMania itself, come on up, say hi, tell us you love the show. If you don't love the show, keep it to your damn selves.
Yeah, we don't want to hear
that. But I will leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Dominic D'Angelo on Wednesday and Thursday, but we will be back live Friday. The Rumor and Innuendo WrestleMania Spectacular. Myself, Dominic D'Angelo, same place, same time, possibly joined by special guest Kevin Kellum.
Yeah.
So that'll be an absolute blast. But Dom, you've got other co-hosts and other folks that are going to be hanging around Las Vegas Mania Week.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, my one co-host from last night, Rob Van Dam, we went live and we chatted about his time in that certain promotion we don't talk about on here. And then we also talk about Triple H's thoughts on the social media contingency and stuff. So pretty interesting topics. We also talk about Ricochet as well. So tune in, rvdtv.com. That episode is up right now. You can check it out. Another friend of mine, Fonzie, is going to be at WrestleCon as well. So it'll be nice to see him. He'll be selling some merch, so be sure to give him a shout out and say hi to him. And yes, that's it, Robert. Excited to get to Vegas. I'll be leaving Thursday. And
that's what he says. That's it. I'm gonna try. Let me try this again real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We have another show that Dom is our producer of called Working Stiff. Scott and I recorded the prediction show for WrestleMania today. We also broke down Monday Night Raw. That'll be up later on this afternoon, wherever you get the audio version of podcasts, which is the same place you can get the audio version of Rumor and Innuendo on iTunes, Spotify, and the like. But you can catch us here, whether one, both, or a plethora of guests, every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacifics. We'll be in Vegas time on a, like I said, plethora of platforms. I'm using the word twice. We got to get a shirt made. I want to get a plethora of platform shirt made, including the WWE Creative _ish X account, the at SE Scoops X account. Shout out to Mike Shalik, who's down here in Boca right now visiting, at Dominic D'Angelo X account, and on YouTube on ad-free shows, Rumor and Innuendo, and Working Stiff. So on behalf of the only Penguin to upset the Billy Madison that is CM Punk, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Efron Francis, how about that?